Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I know I haven't been on here for a very long time. I've just been super busy. I really wanted to film this for a while, so I thought that I would get on here and film it as soon as I can before I say nope, I'm not doing it. But anyways, I've had a lot of people come up to me. Well, actually, let me start from the beginning. So as most of you know or don't know, I started wearing a hijab about 2 years ago. And since then, a lot of people had come up to me and asked me like, oh, Rimsha, how did you start wearing hijab? Or like, how did you change? How did you do it? So basically, I just want to get on here and explain like my story, kind of. The people that used to know me in the past, they knew how I was. So for them to see me how I was and how I am now, those were the people that came up to me and were just like, how did you change? Like, you know, like they were shocked. I was shocked as well. So this is me telling my story of how I started wearing hijab. This is for all the girls out there who are having a difficult time with it, because I did have a difficult time with it. I mean, it's not easy, like changing yourself. Before I begin, I just want to say that I'm not trying to put my beliefs on anyone. I'm not trying to convince you guys to start wearing hijab. This is just how I started and the things that helped me. And if any of you are struggling, I just want you guys to know that you're not alone. I went through the same struggles. It was a very difficult time for me before I began, and I felt like I didn't have anyone to talk to or relate to. So this is why, like, I guess I'm just trying to help any of you people that need help or whatever. So when I was in 6th grade, I went to an Islamic school, which is like a religious school, and the uniform was like a hijab. And so when I started, I wore it there, and I went there only for 6th grade, and then my parents took me out, and in 7th grade I was going to public school. So my parents were just like, oh, you already wore the hijab for a year, you know, so why don't you just continue to wear it? So I was like, oh, okay, whatever, you know, like I wore it for a year, it wasn't that bad, like it kind of got really hot, and you know, but I was like, whatever, I'll do it. So I went to middle school and I started wearing the hijab. I didn't know anyone. I went to elementary school with them, but it was just like weird because they saw me without the hijab, and then all of a sudden I come in, they're like, yo, who's this hijab and shit, you know. So I went in and I wore it, and it was just, I hated it. Like, people were making fun of me. Guys would be like, yo, why are you wearing that towel on your head? Like, making nasty comments towards me. And after a while I started hating it, and I was just like, I don't want to wear this anymore, you know. But I didn't have the courage to tell my parents, so I wore it for 7th grade. And then 8th grade came around and I started taking it off behind my parents' back. And I know my family's probably watching this, you guys, like this, I don't want anyone to judge me from this. I was in 8th grade, I clearly didn't know enough. We've all made mistakes. I didn't feel comfortable telling my parents because I didn't want them to be disappointed in me. Although my parents have never pushed me to wear hijab, they just, you know, encouraged it. And I was like, whatever, fine, you know, if I take it off, they won't care. But I just didn't want to let them down. Especially since my younger sisters wore it too. I was like, if they can do it, I can as well. But I couldn't, and I just couldn't handle the bullying, and I started to hate it. So I started taking it off behind my parents' back. And, you know, I did get a lot of shit for that. Like, people judge you, like, oh, this girl's like acts all Islamic and wears her hijab at home and then gets on the bus and takes it off, you know. And I started feeling really bad about it. So eventually I told my parents, and they were upset. I didn't come to them and tell the truth, but they were like, okay, you know, whatever, like, it's fine. So I took it off. I didn't wear it for all of high school, and then I got into college, and I started wearing it my 2nd year of college. And how I started, basically, so I used to, like, actually I love going out, I love meeting people, I love having fun, you know. But just when I was in high school, like, I would go out a little more than I should. I hung out with the wrong people, and it's just like, it's so weird. I'm just gonna be honest, you know, okay, so I love dressing up. Like, I would always have my hair done. Like, if I would wear like sweatpants and like a nasty t-shirt, like my hair would always be done. Like, even if my makeup wasn't done, like at that time all I wore was foundation, but my hair would either be curled or straightened, or I'd had like those little, you know, snooky puffs going on, but like it would always be done. And so for me to even like start wearing a hijab, you know, it was just not a question. I was just like, no, I don't want to wear it again. Like, people bullied me, I didn't like it, so no, I'm not gonna wear it. But I always used to say, oh, like, maybe when I get married I'll wear it, how most of us say. I didn't have a horrible reputation, but it's just like, when people looked at me, you wouldn't say, like, oh yeah, like I want to be like Rimsha. People wouldn't look up to me and be like, wow, she's such a good Muslim, you know, I should learn from her. That's how I was in high school. And not just that, I loved dressing up. Like I like short shirts, like short clothes, short sleeves. It just wasn't good, you know. It's just, I personally like look back and I'm just like, I don't like how I was. If I had a daughter, I would not be proud of her. And at that time I didn't realize it. You're young, you know, you want to live your life, you want to try new things and whatever. Like for me, when I look back, I just wasn't happy. So basically, freshman year started and I just wasn't happy with myself, you know. I didn't feel that like inner peace that you feel. I was just in a very bad place and I was like, you know, I don't like this life I'm living. I don't like doing the things that I do and like what I wear, and I just wasn't happy and I didn't know what to do. Like I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't feel comfortable talking to my friends. I was very confused and I was very conflicted. So I would often go to my mom and I would cry to her about it, and I obviously couldn't tell her everything. I would just go to her and I would just be like, you know, mom, like I'm not happy with myself. Like this isn't what I was made to do, you know. Like partying, going out and all this stuff, like hanging out with friends 24/7, disrespecting my parents. Like I just wasn't happy. That's not how I should be, you know. And I started realizing it as I started growing up. So I would always explain to me, you know, like Rimsha, go pray, like it'll help, you know, like cry to God, like he's the one that can help you. You know, my mom is pretty religious, but she understood. Talking to her made me feel much better. But as much as I prayed, as much as I cried, like nothing worked. So I was just like, what the heck, you know, like nothing's working. As I was getting older and older, I still wanted to wear a hijab, but it was just like, I didn't want to wear it then. I was just like, you know, maybe when I get married I'll wear it, or maybe when I go to college I'll wear it. So I always made dua, like I always prayed that, you know, Allah give me the strength to start wearing a hijab again. Especially since my sisters wore it, I was just like, you know, I felt kind of ashamed that they're wearing it but I can't, you know. Like what kind of strength do they have that I don't have? So I would always pray that God give me the strength for me to do this. My friends started wearing hijab, you know, and I went to her and I was just like, hey, like how did you start doing this? Like how did you change? When did you decide? You know, I was really shocked. I was just like, because none of my friends wore hijab. I never had a friend that wore hijab except from the people that went to Islamic school with me, but I didn't talk to them that much anymore. So she was the friend, like the first friend that I actually hung out with that started wearing it. So I went to her and I asked her. She also sent me this lecture that it's like all about like empowering women in Islam and how important women are in Islam and how people don't realize that, and like how people think, oh, you know, like women are oppressed in Islam, but in reality we have so much power and we're so precious. So she sent that to me and I watched it and I started crying. I was just like, wow, you know, like I just felt so good about being a girl. You know, I was just like, this is amazing. Like Islam puts so much respect in women, and I realized, I was like, you know what, like how do I expect people to respect me if I don't even respect myself? If I'm going out and if I'm like cursing or like, you know, like just being ratchet basically, how can people respect me? They won't. If I don't respect myself, and if they see that, they're not gonna respect me. They don't care. Just like, wow, you know, like that lecture, it changed my life. I'll try finding it. I haven't watched it in a while, but I'll try finding it and I'll try linking it down below if I do find it. This was like for about a month. I was just feeling, you know, in your heart when you just feel so uneasy and you just feel so unhappy, and like no matter how much you pray, no matter how much you like try to go out and like distract yourself, it just doesn't work. That's how I felt for about a month, and I would come home every day and I would cry, and I would go to my mom and I would cry. And at this point I was like, you know what, I want to start wearing a hijab again. And but I just didn't have the courage to do it. I was like, yo, what are my friends gonna think? You know, like I'm gonna start losing friends. People are gonna make fun of me. Like I'm gonna have to change the way how I talk, how I act. Like I can't go out anymore. Like I can't have guys that are friends, you know. I can't like be loud and crazy like how I usually am. So I was just like, I'm gonna have to change myself, and I'm not ready to do that. So I would go to my mom and, you know, I would cry to her every day, and I'd just be like, you know, mom, like I really want to do this, but I just don't have the strength. I just don't think I can do it. So she was like, you have all of us and your friends, Like, you have them as well. Like, obviously it's gonna be tough, it's gonna be hard, but you don't have to change who you are. And I was just like, what do you mean? Like, of course I do. Like, I'm a really loud person, or I used to be. I mean, you know, I still am for the people that know me, but I used to be really freaking ratchet. Like, I was just yelling, like getting into fights, like yo, why you looking at me? I'm gonna come beat you up, you know what I mean? So my mom was just like, you don't have to change yourself, you just have to watch. It's not like, oh, one day you wear hijab and bam, like that, you have to change. No. She was like, and I was just like, what about my clothes? You know, like I wore short clothes, I wore tight clothes, like it's just like clothes that you shouldn't wear when you wear a hijab, in my eyes at least. So my mom was just like, you don't have to change that right away as well, you know? She's like, okay, you don't, like, you're not gonna go out one day and get, like, throw out your whole wardrobe and, like, buy another one and be like, yo, okay, this is what I'm gonna wear. No, like, that stuff takes time, you know? Like, you have to adjust to it. You can't just change as a person right away. It comes slowly. And so I was just like, okay, like, well, you know, okay, I guess so. And then she, like, one thing that she said that really stuck to me and that really actually changed my mind, she said, Rimsha, like, you're never gonna be ready. I was just like, what do you mean? Ready in a couple years? And she's like, no, you're not. Like, who's ready to change their life? You know, she's like, you go out, you always have your hair done, your hair is always done. Like, when will you ever be ready to be like, okay, you know what, like, I'm gonna cover my hair today? She was like, you're never gonna be ready. And she told me, she's like, this is shaitan. Like, this is shaitan telling you that you're not gonna be ready, that you're gonna lose all your friends, no one's gonna like you, no one's gonna wanna talk. This is shaitan telling you all that stuff. Like, this is shaitan telling you that you're gonna have to change completely. And I was just like, you know what? Like, yeah, you're right. Like, who's gonna want to change? You know, like who really wants to, like, go from having their hair done and dressed really nice, really cute every single day to being more covered? Who's gonna want to go from getting all that attention to not getting that attention? So I realized, I was like, you know, Mom, yeah, you're right. Like, I'm never gonna be ready. So that day I prayed and I cried so much, and the next day I had my friend's graduation. And, like, I woke up feeling ballsy as hell. I don't know what happened. But so I woke up and I had her graduation party to go to, and, like, I got ready and I just put the hijab on my head. I walked out and my mom was just like, whoa. Like, my mom was shocked because, like, I didn't tell her that I was gonna wear it. I was just crying to her about it yesterday that I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could change. I'm not. My friends were shocked. My sister was shocked. She was like, what the hell? Like, when did this happen? It's just because I didn't talk to anyone about it. Like, there was only 2 people that I really talked to, and I just felt like, you know, no matter who I talked to, like, it just wasn't working. I didn't feel relieved. Like, I didn't feel good no matter what. So I went out and I wore it, and I was scared. I was very scared. You know, this was all my friends from high school that seen me, like, ratchet as hell, like, dressed like not a good kid, and, like, hair always done and stuff, you know. It was those people. So I was scared. But, like, I went and I was just like, you know what, like, I hope Allah makes this easy for me, and I hope He gives me the strength. And I went and I was fine. And I kid you not, you guys, like, I know this sounds like ridiculous and crazy, but as soon as I put the hijab on my head, that feeling that was in my heart, it went away. Like, I don't know how, but it just went away. And I'm not saying that, oh, like, if you're stressed or if you're not happy, go wear a hijab. It might have worked for some people, it might have not worked for some people. It worked for me because it was something that I wanted to do for a very long time. I just didn't have the strength. When I wanted to change myself, I wanted to change my life. And as soon as I put it over my head, you guys, I kid you not, like, that feeling went away. And, like, it was a type of relief that I didn't feel in a very long time. And I was like, you know what? I made the right choice. I knew instantly, right? So I went to the party. I was kind of scared, you know, like, what are my friends gonna think and stuff like that. But, like, most of my friends were Muslims, so they were extremely happy for me, and they were like, you know, congratulations. Like, they were just really happy, and I was just like, you know what? This helps a lot. But then, as I was in line waiting for food, this guy comes up and he's just like, Rimsha, is that you? And I was just like, yeah. And he's like, what is that on your head? And I was like, oh, I started wearing hijab. And he looks at me and he starts laughing. It's like, oh, I give it a week. Wait, no. I give it 2 days max. And I just look at him and I wanted to cry. I got tears in my eyes. and I just turned around really quickly. My friend was behind me. She's like, Rimsha, it's okay, like forget him, he's stupid, he doesn't know what the hell he's. I was like, whatever. I looked at him, I smiled, and I walked away. I wasn't gonna like punch him in his face, and it was a big step for me, because if someone had said that to me in the past about anything, I would have sworn at them, and I would have gotten up all in their face, and I would have been like, yo, fight me, I don't care if you're a guy, you know? So it was an instant change for me. Like, not my whole life, but just the fact that I didn't get up on his face and punch him. That was a big change for me, you know? For me to hold back that anger and for me to just smile at him and walk away, it was a big step. Sorry guys, I had to change rooms because I was using my sister's room and she came in. So now I'm sitting in my mom's room because I hate the lighting in my room. So as I was saying, if I didn't get in this guy's face and punch him, like, I could change. And after that, like, the changes automatically slowly started coming to me. Like, my wardrobe, I didn't change until a year later, you know? Like, I would buy things slowly, but I still had that taste, like, oh, I want this like cute small top. It took a while to change, but like, naturally when you wear a hijab, it's just like, you don't want to wear those tight clothes, those short clothes. It just doesn't look good. People like say that, oh, it's just the cloth on your head, but it's not. You are representing Islam, you know. People start looking up to you. They start saying like, oh, hey, like, Rimsha started wearing hijab, you know, like, so like all eyes are on you as a Muslim. You represent Islam. And if you're out there like wearing a hijab but wearing like super tight clothes, short clothes, you know, like, it just doesn't look good, you know. For me personally, I still haven't changed my wardrobe 100%. I still will go out and wear tight clothes. It's just human nature. Like, you want to look good. You don't just want to wear like super baggy clothes all the time. So I'm not sitting here saying I'm perfect, but it took me a while to start changing that, and I'm still changing it, you know. But what I'm trying to say is that that change comes to you by its own. Like, it came to me by itself. Like, I didn't like have to go read about it or like Google like how to be hijabi or anything like that. It came to me on its own. Like, I started realizing it by myself that no, I can't act like this. No, I can't swear like in public. No, I can't be super loud or be rude or anything like that, you know, because then people look at you and they say, wow, look, she's Muslim, like, she wears a hijab and look at how she's acting, you know, like, oh, this is why I'm never gonna wear it. And especially for the girls that want to wear it but are scared, and they hear other people like talking crap about the girls that wear it, then they're just like, no, we're not gonna wear it either. Like, all these people are talking crap about her. So my freaking camera just died and now I have to film on my MacBook, so the quality is probably gonna be really bad, but I just really wanted to get this up, you guys. As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, so like, the change I started seeing in other people encouraged me even more. Like the guys that I was telling you about, like, they started respecting me more, and I just started seeing like a good change in other people. They were acting towards me. It was a good change, you know, and I was pleasantly surprised, and I liked it. And then I had girls coming up to me and saying, you know, like, Rimsha, you used to be like this, like, how did you change? And like, when I would tell them the story, it inspired a couple of girls to start as well. So I know there are a couple girls that are struggling, and I just want to let you guys know that you're not alone. I went through it. I felt like I didn't have anyone to talk to. Like, the only person I could talk to was my mom, but you can't tell your mom everything that you're going through. I thought I was gonna lose friends, but I didn't lose any of my friends. I had like really good friends that told me, you know, Rimsha, like, when we go out and if you don't feel comfortable wearing a hijab, like, I'll wear a hijab with you when we go out, you know. And I was just like, wow, like, thank you. That, you know, I thought I was gonna lose you guys because none of my friends wore hijab. Not just that, but like, I wanted to make friends that wore hijab like me so I would feel more comfortable. And alhamdulillah, like, I go to a school where it's like mostly all Muslim now, and all my friends there, they all wear hijab. So it was just crazy to me, like, how those things started to change, and like how better people started coming into my life, and like the people that like were negative and that brought me towards like the bad things, like, they got pushed away out of my life and better people came into it. It was just crazy to see how like one small thing, like, honestly, it changed my life and it changed how I was for the better, and I'm so thankful for it. Like, I honestly feel like if I didn't wear a hijab, like, I'm not saying that like, oh, if you want your life to change, wear a hijab. No, it's just that I really wanted to do it. It was something that I really wanted to do, and when I did do it, I felt good and I saw that change. It gets hard. Like, I'm not sitting here like telling you all the good things about it. Like, it gets hard, especially in the summer. Like, when time comes around, I'm just like, God, like I just want to take this off, you know, like wear short sleeves and like summer dresses and stuff like that, you know. But you can look cute like while wearing it, and it's really not that bad. Like, it doesn't get super hot. And it's just, I'm just honestly, I'm like the laziest hijabi ever, but I've seen so many hijabis that have the cutest outfits and look so good. It's not impossible. Like, it's really not. And if you, I told myself I wasn't gonna make this video too long, but I feel like it is gonna be really long, so I apologize. But I just really wanted to get everything out and let you guys know like how I started. And I know I talk pretty fast and things, like I'm like all over the place. I didn't know how to explain it pretty well, but I hope you guys understood like the gist of it. And I just, like, to sum it all up, it was just basically that I was in a very bad place. I didn't feel comfortable with myself or the person I was. I didn't think this is like what I was brought down to be. I wasn't happy at all. And I felt like I didn't have anyone to talk to except for my mom. Like, I just wasn't happy. Like, honestly, that if you want to get down to it, I just wasn't happy. No matter how much I prayed, no matter what I did, I wasn't happy. And I wanted to wear the hijab. I just didn't have the strength to do it. And like I said, like, that one friend who started wearing it, she helped me do it. That one lecture that I'll try to find and link down below, that helped me a lot. And, you know, at the end of the day, you are never going to be ready for a really big change. You know, it's not like getting a haircut or your hair dyed. It's covering yourself completely, you know, well, not completely, but like, it's covering yourself. You're never going to be ready for that. But the point is that you have to pray and you have to try. It's okay if you wear it like all the way over here, you know, if it's your first time doing it, it's okay to just wear it like a dupatta if in the end you get the strength to actually wear it fully. And it's okay to not change yourself completely, you know. You don't have to like become this completely new person, and you know, you're still you, I'm still me, you know. Like, it's just that I chose to wear this, and I'm really happy I did, because it changed my life for the better. And for the girls out there that are scared that you're gonna lose friends, first of all, they're not your real friends to begin with. Second of all, I honestly feel like just how I found amazing friends that also like wore hijab that I felt comfortable around, you guys will find that as well too. Those things, they just start coming to you like automatically, you know. It's not as hard as it looks. It's really not. Like, I love it. I enjoy going out. Like, I love like choosing different colors once in a blue moon when I do wear a different color hijab besides black, you know. It's just, I feel good. Like, and not just that, people saw that change in me. People came up to me and were just like, wow, Rimsha, like, you are glowing, like, you look so good, you look so happy, you know. People that saw how I was before and how I am now, like, they can tell you guys personally that, yeah, we saw a change in Rimsha, you know, and I saw it in myself. And I just want to let you guys know that if you guys are struggling with that, like, feel free to message me or talk to me or whatever, you know. I'll link my Instagram, my Facebook, my Snapchat, my Twitter down below, and you guys can come to me and ask me any questions you have. And like, I would love to help you guys, you know, because for me it was a really tough time, and I feel like I didn't have anyone that I could really talk to, and I wish I did. So for the girls out there that are thinking about it and are struggling, I just want you guys to know that it's not that hard, you know. Like, it's not like, it's a big change, but it's a good change. And I feel like if you guys try it out, like, if you really want to, I hope and I think that you guys will enjoy it, and I hope that it changes your life like it changed mine. So this concludes my video, you guys. I'm sorry that it's so long. I'm sorry I was all over the place, but I just really wanted to get this out because I've had so many girls come and ask me. I'm not the perfect Muslim. Like, my hair still shows sometimes, you know, like, it's not fully covered, you know, but I do the best I can, just like everyone else out there. My point wasn't to tell anyone that, oh, you have to wear hijab, or like, you have to do this, or even that if you wear hijab your life will change. It was just my story and how it did change my life, and how I'm thankful for it, and I'm thankful for the people that I have in my life now. And I just hope that if you guys were struggling with this, I hope this helped you and inspired you. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next tutorial. Or if you guys want me to do any other like talk throughs, like anything like that, I would love to do that as well. But like, this is getting really awkward. I don't know how to end this, but bye guys.